Sorry about that. I've been away for a second. I had to step away. You there? Is anybody there? Let me know if this is peaking out. For some reason, my mic keeps going all the way full peak. Sometimes I have no idea why. I'm just going to pull these out so that I have my desktop set up. I'm just playing around with Eagle. I am looking at just cleaning some stuff up before I submit this. High Station 240, if you're still on. Let me pull up my pop-up chat because I can't see it. Hey, how you doing? What's going on? Yeah, so I was just cleaning some stuff up. Right now I was going to do like a, in Eagle you can go to check angle on the DRC. And it'll give you angle violations. I don't know exactly what that means. I think if it's not 45 or 90 degree, it'll tell you. Of course, I don't know how you check the actual angle on it. I would think that info would give you the angle. There it is, 316. But you can't change it, so you'd have to snap to a grid, and you just do that by turning the grid on and go to move, and that's weird. I don't even need that trace there. So that just shows up violations of, see, this one's messed up, but I don't know how you fix it. I mean, I can't. I want to clean up them so to make sure that these are all perpendicular, not so there's not a difference in spacing. Well, there we go. I got it. But then I have to make sure that this is spaced properly, but that should be fine. What is that? That's 6, 6, 6. And then up here it's, let me go back to the bottom. 6, 6. I mean, it'll give me a warning if it's not, but I'll just clean that up. I also want to make sure I got grounds between this RX and TX. It just lets you avoid noise and transfer stuff faster for those two pins, which is good for uploading and stuff. You don't want that coupling into something else. Yeah, so I can see this one is showing up as a weird angle. Now that one showed up as a weird angle. That's weird. Why is it doing that? There we go. I wish there was an easier way to fix angles. I don't know that there is. I'll have to look into that. There might be a way to... No, I didn't think so. So that's all I'm doing, is just cleaning up a few more things and it should be ready. I mean, this doesn't matter, but I don't even know why this is here. I don't even know what that trace was for. It was unnecessary. And then like this one. Oops. This is just being pedantic now. Just make sure that these things are perpendicular so you don't have any weird production problems with some bad error, DRC check or something like that. See, I just completely messed that up. I wonder if Optimize will do this. There's an Optimize. think that just removes extra segments. Maybe that's the problem here. What if I disconnect it? Yes, I can't get the stupid thing to go away. What if I delete it? Let's go back to where it was originally. Not that it matters. It's something I've not done before, so I want to learn how to do it. There you go. And you can see all these. See, these are all the messed up angles. Some people are really specific about that. I really don't care. I don't think it really matters. I mean, they're going to produce it lithographically, so they're going to just photograph, transfer your stuff. It's not going to really matter. It's not like you're doing something with a CNC machine where the angles have to be optimized but there might be a better grid to. Maybe that's why they tell you. See, Eagle always tells you should use a whatever grid, and they never tell you why. See, that's a different segment right there. So if I optimize it, I should get rid of that. See, that's a broken segment. That's weird. So I should be able to fix that. There we go. I just like to have a clean DRC. I'm just holding control and click and move, and it'll snap it to whatever grid you have. So if I do grid 5, and it'll snap it to a 5 grid. But see, now that's not on the grid, so it'll start to move it. Whatever. I usually use a 1 grid. I mean, it doesn't really matter. This one over here, move. So that's all I'm doing right now. It's kind of fiddly stuff. It's practice for, kind of like practice for certain things. Like this should be perpendicular. I don't know why it says it's not. Looks pretty damn perpendicular to me. It looked fine. I don't know why it thinks it wasn't. So I mean, that could be a problem. That could mean that there's a disconnected trace and a microscopic something that you can't see. That just fixes it up. And then see, like I didn't know that was there. See, there's two. Apparently, there's 2 segments there. That was weird. Someone came to the front door again. Oh wow. Jeez, I'm getting all kinds of stuff delivered today. I have a camera on my front door. Why can't I move this? Why is it not snapping? Oh, not that one. See, look how wonky that is. What is going on here? No. Alright, so it looks like I am going to have to do this. Whoa. I didn't know you could do that. Why did that do that? Huh, control. That's interesting. I wonder if that's a feature or a bug. Oh, there it goes. You just gotta get the stupid thing to snap. I guess I could have did a grid. This is on a grid. Most of my stuff's on a 10 mil grid, but some of it's a little tight. Like this stuff. Like, what is this? Those are like wire stubs. I don't need those. Those should all be gone. Oops, not that one. Oops. I don't know how many people. Oh, excuse me. I don't know how many people are on the stream. It says 2 watching. Well, I'm just going to chit chat until somebody actually has something to say. If anybody has something to say, then I'll go off on a tangent and talk about something. But I'm not one to just sit here and talk about nonsense. Just not something I do. How about that? How about those sports? You know what I'm saying? That's not me. Oh, why can't I get this? I'm just going to delete this. Clean this up. And I'm going to go boop, 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 boop. There we go. This is just like really fiddly stuff that most people do not do. But yeah, sometimes it's fun. Not really important stuff. You could bang a board together and not worry about any of this stuff. Especially if I do another revision, I would wind up ripping the whole thing up probably, so I wouldn't even need to do any of this. See, look, why is that not connected there? I think I still have this on oversized. Yeah, it should be on 6, but I have it on 7. I'm going to leave it on 7. Make sure that tolerances are good enough. I'm going to make more coffee. I'm almost done. This is Rev 2. I guess I could talk about something, like what I'm making. This is Rev 2 of my light and sound board. I think I'm going to call it Light Sound Sense, since it does light, sound, and has some temperature, humidity sensors, and light sensors on it. Yeah, I'll show you in a second. All right, so let's rip this all up. So I moved this button and squeezed in a photodiode so I can do light sensing. And it's hooked up to ADC. I'll pull it up over here. Let's see. It's hooked up to the ADC with a in reverse bias to 3v3, which is more stable power supply. It's basically you're measuring resistance. Well, you're measuring voltage, but you're really measuring resistance and current. So, depending on how stable your power supply is, how accurate your reading is going to be. I'm more interested in just getting light, dark, so I can set brightness automatically and stuff like that. I thought it'd be cool for environmental too, light, temperature, humidity. So when if you're not using this board for alerts, you could use it for some kind of environmental monitoring as well. So it gives it, some more functionality. And of course, you can add an LCD to it and use it for several different projects. So I think this is a TR8 is what it's called, photodiode. Anyway, it's in reverse bias. Where is it? It's around here somewhere. Here it is. PD15 TR8. Reverse biased. Photodiode 3v3 ADC with a reverse current through the photodiode based on light to ground through a probably 100K, maybe something a little less, whatever your range wants to be, whatever kind of light to dark you're measuring, you can kind of do that. Otherwise, you'd wind up having to use other components like a comparator and some other stuff to measure it. I'm just kind of really crappily hacking this in here. It's probably going to work okay. Whoops. And another problem is, I don't know if you saw it when I highlighted it, but my ADC line goes 1, 2, 3, 4 vias, 4 layer changes. I mean, when you're doing microvolt measurements or high speed, any high speed or low voltage measurement, you probably shouldn't do that. In fact, this should be probably guarded by grounds on both sides, and definitely not changing layers, because each layer changes a parasitic or capacitive, inductance coupled through it. Changes the characteristics of high speed and very low voltage measurements more than other kind of signals that are 5-volt logic to logic swings. They can usually handle a lot more. See, like, why does it say that that's not straight? Oh, because it's not. See, why doesn't Optimize do that? I thought that's what Optimize did. I guess if it's not straight, it won't join the segments. Maybe there's a way to change that. See, you got all these. I don't even know how I'm going to fix these. I'm afraid of just screwing it up if I touch those. Let's see how off they are. 49. Yeah, so that's... And then it transfers it to the other... Why does it do that? It's very strange. I don't want to move the whole thing. I don't know what I did. See, now they're all messed up. See, I'm like, I'm just going to leave it like that, because I don't know what's going on there. I could try to do it on a grid. Yeah, I mean, some of these tolerances are too close for me to mess with. Let's do grid 1, and let's just try... I don't know. Yeah, that's not going to work at all. See, it'd be cool if you could just snap that to 45 degrees and then move these other ones. Which I'm going to guess is what's happening here. Because now if I do info, 45 degrees. Okay, that didn't do too bad. 44, so it's barely gonna move. So you know that's cleaned up like that. That didn't work. That did work. No, that didn't work. There we go. Well, that wasn't too bad. This one, I'm not going to worry about that one. That one goes from there to there. Oh, look at this guy over here. This little son of a bitch. There you go. What's this guy right here? Oh, shit, look at that. Oh, fix that bastard. There we go. Move that down a little bit. So yeah, oh wow, this list used to be like a whole page long. It's gotten much smaller. I'm not gonna worry. I thought I fixed that one. All right, now I'm just getting OCD and I'm just gonna fix them all. These traces don't need to be on top of each other, but hey, why not? Actually, I need more ground. Over there. But I do up there. In fact, I should probably move both these all the way over. Or am I going to run into a ground? I used to have a ground going across here. That's why I had it like that. But I think I removed it. Yeah, because now I have it on the inside. Should I put two traces like that on top of each other? What are you going to do? It's fine. Now I have more ground coming through here. That's fine. Where's that other little guy over here? Is that red? I'm not even going to try to touch these. That's a terrible... What's this? I'm going to lift these up and just redo it. Oh, now it's all stupid. Where did that come from? So now, how is that not straight? See, angle 0. Why is it, is it a wire stub? See, now why did it go away? Maybe that was a wire stub. There's a wire stub. Wire stub is basically something that's not connected to something else. It's just a dead trace. So you really want to stay on top of those, but sometimes you have them on purpose. You just delete them. Make sure you don't delete. Sometimes when you delete a wire stub, it will delete something else. All right, let's go back up to angles. Boop. Boop, 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 boop. Oh, what's that? Delete that. Move. I'm gonna see. I move that. I don't think it's gonna see. It's bad when you move stuff and it. You gotta watch out for it. Now that one's screwed up. Oh, geez, I swear. All right, first of all, I don't want Let me get the second layer out of here. All right, invite anybody that wants to see pedantic Eagle PCB design. Very pedantic Eagle PCB design. Unnecessary time wasting. Why won't that go straight? Probably because it goes from there to there, and there's absolutely no way for it to be straight. So I'm going to delete it and connect this to. Let's just move this guy. And then we're going to move that to that. Boop. Change this to what, 10? Yeah, that should be fine. Angle? What's wrong with that one? Looks fine to me. Sometimes Eagle just doesn't like your stuff, and it just complains for no reason. Like sometimes it'll just, yeah, see, it'll just keep, oh, it must be on the bottom. I always forget that sometimes you can't see it, it's on the bottom. I always forget that. I always forget to look at the layer number. Stupid. Sometimes the easiest way is just to rip something up and redo it. Oops, I didn't do that. Boop. Boop, 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 boop. Oh. Going back, put both layers back on. Well, what's that guy over there? Why does it keep changing back to... There we go. I'll be right back. I'm back. Yeah, sometimes the selection stuff gets a little iffy. Like, I had a problem where, I don't know what I did, but every time I would delete a wire stub, another wire stub would pop up, and I could not fix it. I had to close. Well, this is an Eagle. I don't know if it's different. It's probably different than something else. But this down here shows you whether your annotation is synchronized between your schematic and your whatever, your board. So sometimes that can get broken, but not for any real reason. So what I do is I'll close out schematic, let them unlink, and then I'll fix it all up and delete stuff and re-add the traces right back the way. And then I'll reopen it and relink them together, and they should link right back up if nothing was changed. But sometimes you just got to do that to clear whatever the stuck state was. I notice like sometimes if you change a component and you don't run ERC right, like as soon as you replace it, it could screw up stuff. The whole net gets screwed up. I haven't really had that problem lately though. Maybe they fixed it. There's been a lot of updates lately. So, whoops, not that. I keep clicking on manufacture accidentally. Why is it so big? That's my borders. There it is. I really wish they made this like a. Oh, 1 second. Be right back. All right, sorry, my phone keeps blowing up. Oh yeah, I was just trying to resize this. Yeah, sometimes it gets crazy. It goes like off your screen and stuff. I used to be able to leave it open on my PC. I can leave it open. It must have something to do with the GPU or how the rendering is, OpenGL or whatever it uses. But excuse me, I used to be able to just leave it open and watch it refresh in real time. But on my Mac, it takes like 2 seconds to update. It's very strange. Angle. I'm not going to touch that one. I'm not going to touch that one. No, these are all good. So, can't approve multiples at a time. Well, that's annoying. Is there a command you can do for approve with keyboard? No. I don't think there is. I think you just have to go approve, 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 approve. And you can go through approve, 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 approve. It's the same signal, approve. I just asked them on Twitter to add the net name on here so that you can see the layer and the net name. Because if you have a clearance problem with two of the same net name, then you can just completely ignore them because who cares that this ground is touching that is overlapping that ground and it's the same signal. Unless you have something that where you don't have enough. I mean, that could be a problem if it was cutting in so far that your solder mask was exposing copper. But I mean, I don't really care. It's not really a problem. And I always get these errors on these jumpers. It's very annoying. Kind of how they work. Keep outs. I keep the keep outs because that's always a indication of overlapping signals. Like all these overlaps are just nonsense. But I'll go through them all again. Yeah, I don't know. There's that catch distance, and I can't figure out exactly what it does. Here's this catch factor and select factor. I still can't figure out what they mean. One is when you're doing selects, and one is when you're selecting an item. But no matter what I do, it seems to be just as bad. Yeah, and another thing that drives me crazy, and I don't remember this in the past, is when you're let's see, when you're routing. Um, well, I don't have any unrouted signals. Um, how can I do that? Let me save this and rip up something. I should just rip up all layer on same layer. There we go. All right, so see, you got that unrouted thing, and I like to leave those on. I don't want to hide the unrouted layer because I need to see where signals need to go. But when I'm clicking on this and I go to want to move this, well, that's weird. Did they change it? Maybe it's only for select. Yeah, you can select route air wires. And sometimes when you have a really, everything's all bunched together and you're first started routing a board, you can't click on anything because there's air wires everywhere. And every time you go to click on an origin, you're clicking on these stupid air wires. It drives me crazy, but I want to see them. And there's no way to turn off selecting them. You can make them visible or invisible. But making them unselectable would be a cool option because it's really a mess when you have them all over the place. And that I don't remember having that problem in the past. It might have something to do with the way they stack the layers now that it's on top, or I don't know. That was driving me mad when I started this. What is that square right there? Oh, that's the back keep out. Yeah. All right, let's check this DRC one more time. I don't have to go through it all over again, but I'm just looking for obvious stuff right now. Something new. I think this is all okay. I'll check it again. See, that's another thing when you have these if you have a pad on, vias on pad, or via in pad, or via next to pad. I don't need to know about this overlap because it's the same signal, you know? So I could easily go down this whole row if they saw that they were, they're all the same signal overlaps. Then, one sec. Sorry about that again. If I get interrupted, I'll just mute the mic and step away for a second. Sorry about that. Um, yes, that is one of the other, and people have complained about that for a long time. But I think they're gonna have to do some major UI rework to do that. So I think it's on their roadmap. But yeah, this palette should always be dock. This should be dockable, and should always be over here to toggle on and off. And all the old timers are like, "But you just go display top. What's so hard? Display top." Yeah, but that's stupid. I mean, sometimes you're flipping through layers, you know, a lot. You're doing some kind of review or you're doing a comparison of something, you know. I have a macro keyboard actually set up to, this is how fast I can switch layers. See? So I don't even use that palette, but it's still useful to have a palette of, your layers should be a stacked, not a stacked, what do they call it? A docked, whatever. In fact, until I started using the keyboard, I used to just I used to do this. I used to pull my tools out, leave them right there. But I don't even really use them anymore. I mostly just use commands. But it takes a while to learn them. It takes hundreds of hours. Yeah, the problem with all PCB layout programs, and I tried to use PCB layout programs like 10, 15 years ago, and my God, they were terrible. They were based on CAD programs, which were just awful. I mean, they all had the same, um, crappy rule sets and standards, and it was just really hard to use. Where I come from a graphics background, and I can do like 8 different things with 2 keys, with like a 3-button mouse and hand on the control and shift buttons. I can do, and I also did 3D modeling, so I've worked with real good 3D modeling software that has, you can pan, tilt, zoom, rotate, all with, 2 buttons and 2 modifiers and a mouse or whatever. Whereas you use some other programs now, in some of the CAD programs, and it's like, what? I have to change, you have to switch modes from, like, this still bothers me. You have to switch from select to group, select to group, select to group, constantly switching from select to group. And it's just, and there's no real grouping where you can keep things grouped, or that you can easily select and group stuff. Okay, I guess I can make use of nets better to group stuff, and you can select by net. But this design manager does help a little bit, because you can even type in wildcards and stuff, I believe. One time I use it is when I do like all, and then I'll go over here and do vias, and then sort by all the vias, and I can see all the sizes and stuff like that. You can search for your different traces and stuff, and check all your trace sizes and make sure something's not weird over here. Although sort's not working, I just submitted that to their forums. So I think you can sort by signal and layer, but none of these other sorts work. So, I don't know what the deal is. Some of the features in the new ones are like beta quality. But, I mean, I do like them I do like them coming out with releases at a rapid rate. It's kind of nice, but some stuff is left in is beta quality, which is not very good to do to users. I mean, it's fine to do if you mark it as beta. I love beta testing stuff. I'm like a professional beta tester. But don't expect users to put up with that nonsense. All right, I think I am almost done. So that's really the only changes I made. Had to add a my piezo was clicking when the ESP restarts. It outputs 200 millisecond. Uh, Millisecond? Is it microsecond? I don't remember. I have to look it up. But when I was playing with it, I noticed like a real short. I think it was 200 microsecond burst of when it initializes the GPIOs, they go high or something like that. So it was causing clicking on my piezo if you had deep sleep enabled, like so when it would wake up or when you restarted it or when you programmed it, it would go click, 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 click. So I added a pull down resistor to the base of that transistor to keep, just to suppress that. And then I added that photodiode for photo sensing. And that's the cheapest solution. I could add an I squared C ambient light sensor, but I think they're like $1 or something like that. $1.50, $2. These are like 11, 12 cents, I think. And you're just measuring general light. I don't really care about high motion detection or anything like that. Move some of this stuff around. I separated the shield of the USB and put a link to ground so that you can disconnect it and put a whatever 1 meg ohm diode if you got noise or something. But that doesn't really matter. I just did it so that, you know, if you needed to connect to something that had a dirty shield or bad shield noise from your host system. Well, I doubt you would though, because I'm not even using the data on this board. I just break them out so that you can use them on like a separate IO UART board. But I didn't bother including. Maybe the next version I'll put a CP2. You know, it's not really a development board, so I didn't bother. I didn't really think you needed that. Instead, I put a auto reset circuit, which is a GPIO 0, CHPD, Zener diode, resistor, and a capacitor. And so when DTR goes low, it pulls GPIO down and resets the board, and then it's got a cap to limit the pulse. Excuse me. And that works pretty good for auto program, auto reset with one pin. Only problem is you have to disable DTR in your serial program, which you can do in Platform IO. You can do in most serial terminals. I think you can do it in the board manager for Arduino, but I don't think it's available to the user. I think you have to go modify the board file or do it in your board definition. What else did I do? Yeah, here's the resistor. Actually, I didn't put it over here, which would probably be better on the base of the transistor. I'm pulling the GPIO down because that's the only place I could fit this on the board, was in that space over, closer to this than to that. What else did I add? I don't know if you need a resistor between GPIO 16 and reset. I'm not going to worry about it. I turned the LED on GPIO control instead of power, because if you're going to be using this for lights, you don't want that power light shining. You want your RGB lights shining. You don't want that. So you can PWM it now, but you can't do that when you're making sound or else it glitches. But you can set it on and off, so that'll help. And then you can always jumper it back to as a power LED if you wanted to. Button, same, nothing changed there. Oh, I added a last time I made my last revision. I put a button. Let me tear this up. I put a button right here. This is a 4-prong push button that jumps from front to back. So it jumps, pulls GPIO, whatever this is, reset or GPIO 2 through this resistor, or reset to ground. But I also wanted the option to put a side mount button in case you wanted to put this in an enclosure and have a reset button in the back. But the reset buttons pull side to side. They short side to side, and then they have a mounting bracket on the front that solders. That's not electrically connected. So I added this little jumper right here to pull this pad down to ground, so that if you hook that switch up that's side mounted, you can use a switch that goes side to side or front to back by jumping that out. And then I just modified this footprint so that each opposite corner has a signal, and these two are no connect. That's why this is warning me, because I don't really have it set up as that signal. It should work. I think that'll work. I have a few different buttons that fit that kind of footprint that can go on here. I might have to modify these pads a little bit, but for now I think I want to test that and see how it works. That's what the holes are for. A side button or this push top button. Both momentary. I just thought that would be interesting if I could do two different kinds of switches for different case enclosure or whatever. That's pretty much all the changes. That, and I had to squeeze in that resistor over there, squeeze in a resistor over here. Move this around. I had to add a resistor for this opto photodiode. Oh, this one. I added these physical mounting. These are the mounting holes. These are more of like alignment slots. Like, they're not electrically safe. I wouldn't really put a screw down on here because it probably won't short anything. I kind of kept the traces away, but it is ground plane, and you could cause a problem if you shorted this V-bus to ground right here. If you used a screw, you could probably fit a 1mm screw, 1.4mm screw in here, but it's really for just like plastic pegs to reinforce the USB jack and then to stabilize these two mounting holes so it doesn't rock on them, because I didn't really have space for another mounting hole. So I got those two holes and a hole over here, just for stability and for snap-ins and stuff like that. That's pretty much all I did. Hello, Yuri. Wave. I was just cleaning up my DRC and get rid of some errors and angles and just cleaning up. Going over what I changed on this board. This is the Rev 2. This might be the final if it works. And maybe I will, I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to sell it or if I'm just going to maybe just sell boards or sell assembled boards, or not really sure. I'm more interested in putting this into projects as a project kit and then making different projects from it and maybe selling those projects. Pretty much finished. I was doing the DRC and cleaning up some of the angles. There's like an angle DRC you can do. Some of the traces were just weird angles and I cleaned them up. And now I'm just going over what was changed. The biggest problem I'm going to have with this board is the grounding is a mess. But it should work. It's only 2 layers, so that's what the ground looks like. Oh, be right back. Hold on. Sorry, I just gotta step away when sometimes I get some stuff coming up. Yeah, the problem with Eagle is that like you have an active layer, but you can only cycle through it when you're like in the route tool. Like you can use space or middle click, but you can't just cycle layers without doing like a layer command or opening this, going, you know, clicking on it. And actually, that doesn't work either. You have to do layer. There's literally no GUI for changing layers. There's the layer, visible layer panel. That's different than layer switching. The only way to do that is over here. Otherwise, you're typing commands or using short keys. But if you're in just select mode, whoops, if you're in select or move mode, you can't change layers. Kind of annoying. Oh man, my coffee's all gone. I'll make some more. Gonna make some more. So that's what I've been working on. This is like kept every time I went to submit this, I kept deciding, oh, I'm gonna add something. I'm gonna add one more thing, and so I didn't add a lot. I mostly just added some fixes. But when you got to squeeze two resistors into something, you got to really redo the whole board because it was way too tight. Then I had to fix my ground and make sure my ground was a little better. Oh, I'll go back to that. I'll show you that. Yeah, ground is a mess. That's the ground. It should be pretty well stitched, and it should go around the entire board. So I have a decent ground. Well, that doesn't go through. Why does that not go through? Probably because... Let me see why that doesn't go through right there. I changed this to... Oh, stop. I changed that to 7. It should be 6. But I am going to create a safety trace just in case JLC PCB screws my boards up again. I'm going to route this down to where? Here? I'll do it to a via so it's not. No, I don't want you going through there. Why is it not? Oh, it won't go around the same signal. It's so stupid. I'll just bring it to there. And let's just make sure that that's there. Oops, I didn't mean to delete that. What happened? There you go. I'm actually going to make this right angle. There we go. I never used Circuit Maker. I never even heard of Circuit Maker. Eagle's expensive. You see this right here where it says education? I don't pay for it. In a couple of years, I will have to pay for it because it's only a 3-year license. I guess I could change my email address. I don't know. But yeah, it's an educational version. You're not supposed to use it for commercial purposes. It's got a board limit of 100 square millimeters, maybe? I forget what it is. but it definitely has a board area limit, and it's got a sheet limit. You can only have 2 sheets, which means you can also only have 2 design blocks because those are basically sheets. And that's pretty much it. I mean, you get everything else. So I tried to start out with open source software. I started using KiCad. I don't know what the name is. Everybody's arguing about it. I call it KiCad. But I could not get it to run on my Mac. It just kept crashing every time. I would get 2 hours in, finally start picking up pace and learning it, and getting groove, and it would just crash on me, and I got so frustrated. I tried that like 3 times, maybe like about 2 days. Over the course of 2 days, I just kept trying it and reinstalling it and trying different binaries, and I just couldn't get it to run stably. And I cannot stand the way it links the two, a schema, and the way they link the two schematic and the PCB. It drives me insane. I think it's just very unintuitive. So believe it or not, I found Eagle to have a better learning curve than KiCad. But KiCad is much more powerful because you can write your own plugins. Well, you can do this too. It's got ULPs and stuff. I don't remember what software it is, what scripting language it is. Is it Python? I don't know what it is, but I know KiCad is very cool because you can actually modify it like the actual source. You can add features that you really need. Whereas Eagle, you can just complain to them and hope they implement them. Eagle Design Spark. Yeah, that kind of sucks. Yeah, luckily I got into this after the Renaissance, after they bought them and started making the major modern changes to it, and I really like them. It definitely feels like a more modern app than an old CAD program that was hacked in to do images or image masking. That was basically what it is. Yeah, that's tough. I mean, I'm not making money from this. I wouldn't be able to pay 400. I don't even know how much it is. $400 a year, something like that. I don't mind paying for software. It's just getting your use out of it. If you're not using it commercially, you're not. That's like throwing money away. You know, if you're not getting that back from a client, then oof, it's tough. But if it's a tool, I don't mind spending money on tools. But right now, I'm just playing and learning. Mostly just want to create some projects as a means of learning, and then after I learn, I'll have the skill to be able to just whip together something that I need personally. I need something I can just throw it together and have it properly work. I don't have the patience for prototyping. Not prototyping, breadboarding, proto boarding. I just can't stand it. All right, I don't know what else needs to be done. I do have where is it? Try to open this. I have a document that I use. I should just do this on. I should just do this on GitHub, so I have a commit history. Oops, hold on one second. I am in another screen. Here we go. Yeah, I don't mean prototype. I meant proto board, like trying to whip up an entire project in using stupid proto boards and soldering tracks and clipping little tiny wires. I'm just so tired of that. I did that for 20 years. Every time I wanted to make something, I was, manually putting stuff together. Done. No, I did say prototype. I meant proto board. I meant like I always prototype. I always breadboard before I usually do stuff. Usually, almost always, because otherwise you're wasting your money if you order something and it doesn't work. I like iterative design. I just don't like it that much. Now I can create my own PCBs too. I've done that before. It's pretty fun. I like it. That's the first way I learned how to do electronics was making hand making PCBs and etching them. But I don't want to mess with that. I don't have a garage. I don't have somewhere to do the chemicals and all that. So this works better for me, ordering stuff. So I was keeping like a list of things to do. Um, so let me just check this. I did that. That's done. Oh, I know what I was going to do. I was going to take the disconnect thermal pad. I want to put remove ESP thermal. Shoot, hold on. Yeah, so I'm going to do why does it keep changing like that? Wait 30 days to get paid. What are you talking about? I haven't signed up for Tindy yet. So you have to wait 30 days to get a check cut? Or do you have to wait 30 days to sign up? Can you clarify that? I don't know what you're talking about. I better create my account now then. Shit. If I gotta wait 30 days to sell an item. Is that just to keep spammers and stuff and cloners out? Because that is a big problem. Oh, before you can withdraw money. That I guess that makes sense because you're shipping items. I mean, Kickstarter and stuff have the same kind of thing, don't they? So you can't launder money through it, and so that you can't sell fake stuff and then never ship. Because you could sell a bunch of stuff before everybody even catches on. I mean, that seems to make sense. I don't know how else they would do it. They would have to have a review process where someone buys it and then says, just like eBay does, you get enough bad reviews and they shut your account off because obviously you're not shipping stuff. sorry. I'm hungry. Is that for every sale or just like the first time? Oh, wow. Yeah. I mean, I think that still makes business sense. Now, if it's for every sale and they're keeping an escrow for 30 days, that'd be. You don't understand how fat my cat is. I'm eating. I'm not eating chips. I'm eating 4 grams of fiber, organic, ALA omega-3 cereal with corn, flax, buckwheat, quinoa, and amaranth. Ten times lots of postage and wait 30 days for the first sale before you see a cent. Is that for the first item or the first item of unique item, or is that for first item of a new seller? Like, does that go away after you've been on there for a while, or is that every single thing you put up? Yeah, because that does make sense. Why would anybody put anything more than just a couple the first time? That does kind of hurt them, I guess. I'm not going to put 10 items up if I got to ship them. Dude, YouTube. If YouTube was my full-time job, I'd be living in the gutter. Dude, I'm not even monetized yet. I only have 200 subscribers. No, I don't do YouTube. I have a full-time job. And not as an electrical engineer. I'm in tech, but I've been in tech for a long time. I pretty much do anything tech related. From hardware, software, networking, security, physical access. Yeah. Live streaming from a cardboard box, for sure. No, I don't even know how people get monetized these days. 10,000 hours? Is it what it is? 10,000 hours of watch time or available watch time. And what, 1,000 subscribers? I'm not even 10,000. I don't even know what it is. Is it 1,000 subscribers? I think it's 1,000 subscribers. I'm nowhere even close. I also don't have the time to do professional videos that go viral, which is honestly this. I always wonder why people always talk about going viral, make this go viral, blah blah blah, viral, viral, viral. I'm always like, what is wrong with these people? And it's not going to go viral unless it's good. It's because you literally cannot do anything without going viral. There's no way you can get 100,000 subscribers on any platform without having numerous viral things. That's just literally impossible. Everything's just so niche. I don't have any certificates. I don't really believe in certificates. 4,000 watch hours in the previous 12 months. Yeah, so not just 4,000 watch hours in 12 months. So you got like nonstop bust your ass. And if you lose it, you lose it. And you got to start all over again. Not start all over again. It doesn't reset, but it's still a running thing. You can't just do it all at once. You got to keep up with it too. That's crazy, man. That's a lot. I mean, are they kidding me? They're asking people to work for free, you know? I mean, if you're creating content, you're creating content for their platform. That's a lot of content. Then wait 2 ice ages. That too. Yeah, and I've never got. I used to do AdSense. I used to get paid from Google for some stuff, and yeah, you gotta wait for those checks too. No, I don't plan on making any money off of any of this or doing it any more than I already do. It's just not something I'm like interested in doing. I'm not like that kind of person. I'm not. I just make videos so it helps. Maybe it'll help somebody learn like I learned. That's all. I've learned a lot of stuff, and this is how I learned it. So maybe somebody else will do the same. And not necessarily tutorials. Like I don't really learn through tutorials. I learn by watching people do. I learn by doing myself. So I pick a project and then I use that project as incentive to learn something. Um, and that goes with anything. If I wanted to learn how to weld tomorrow, I'd pick a project and start making it until I succeeded. I wouldn't try to do a tutorial like do this first, weld these two things together. No, I would just pick something I'm passionate about. And right now I've been passionate about electronics since I was like 12, 11, and I'm like 42 now. So I got out of it for a long time because it was just not practical and expensive. And then microcontrols got cheap, and PCBs got cheap, and so now I'm just kind of like I've always had these ideas. So if I can actually make them and sell them, and make enough money to pay for the parts to make them, that's all I care about. Because that would be cool, you know. But I definitely want to keep it a hobby. I don't want to ruin my hobbies. You know, I like hobbies to be hobbies and relaxing. I don't want it to be a business. Not that I'm against it. I just, I don't know. I don't know that this would ever be a hobby. It's just too much. I think I would have to be an electrical engineer for maybe 10 years to be good enough to do contract work and sell. Well, I would go back to school, of course. And I might. I have to get a degree in something, so I might go back to school. And the only thing I'm really passionate about going back to school for is electrical engineering. But I suck at maths. I just really suck at math. It's kind of like the thing I never understood math because I never found a way to learn it. Like the way I learn is different than the way they teach stuff, certain things. I was really good at like chemistry and biology, but math I was terrible at. So I just need to find a way to relate to it, to understand it. I can get by. I can pick up something and learn it and do what I need to do to get it done. Like I've built mapping. I've built games before. I've built mapping programs. That's all math. It just took me a while because I didn't know it already. But yeah, electrical engineering is a lot of math. Right now, I'm just a copy and paste engineer, clip art engineer, kind of. I do know a lot of analog because that's what I came up with. I learned analog to begin with, so I do know some analog, but there's just so much to learn. All right, so let's take a look at this manufacturing data and see if there's anything that needs to be fixed. Can you hear that in the background? I'm gonna have to turn my volume down. There's something playing. Yeah, you can probably hear that. I'm gonna have to drop that down a little bit. Turn my volume down. Let me know if that's not annoying in the background. Oh. All right, so manufacture. All right. Oh, that's what I meant to do. I had to turn that. Let me do that before I forget. I think I have... No, I don't have cream. Then why does it... Why does my stencil have cream on it? Maybe I already did that. Maybe I already deleted that. Sorry. 1 second. I gotta eat some more.